This is the plaintiff, David Samus. He says he did some work on the defendant's 13-inch MacBook Pro, and they agreed the cost would be about $400. When the defendant showed up to pick the thing up, he presented him with a $10 bill as payment. He thought the guy was joking, but he wasn't. He actually thought all of his hard work was worth a measly $10. What a maroon. He's suing for $425 for the work performed and a late fee. This is the defendant, Brendan Betts. He says the plaintiff had his computer for months, and after he pressed him on why it was taking so long to fix, he admitted the computer had been stolen. He did find him another computer, gave it to him, and he thought everything would be a wash due to the circumstances. A few months later, he's presented with a bill, and that's when he told the plaintiff he wasn't paying. He's accused of refusing to cough up some do-re-mi. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for loss of work and loss of computer programs.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff did work on the defendant's MacBook Pro. He said it was going to cost $400, but the defendant shows up with $10. The defendant says the computer was stolen on the plaintiff's watch, and now they're more than square. It's the case of the Big Mac attack.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, David Samus. You are suing on behalf of your store. You're the owner.
Yeah.
You've asked us not to mention the name of the store. You're suing Brendan Betts.
Yes.
Okay. For $425, $400 that he owes you for a computer repair, and $25 for a late fee. You are counterclaiming against him $1,500 for loss of work, loss of your computer programs, and the difference between the value of the computer he gave you and the computer you gave him. Okay, what happened?
In approximately, I think it was April 5th of last year, he dropped off a computer for repair, an Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch, and it was not working. I did a quick diagnosis and determined that the logic board, the main...
And you determined it was broken. Okay.
Not surprisingly. But yeah, it was that type of, back then, especially a year ago, that's the most expensive part of the computer, the logic board, like a motor in a car. Apple Store, retail places charge $600, $700 to do that type of repair. I was using a guy who was a friend of mine he would get it through at a much lower price.
How?
That was his magic. I leave him to it.
His magic? His criminal endeavor? Go on.
And he actually, so I'd known him for years. I'd had him get a lot of machines through. But apparently, right around that time, he ran off with his computer and two others. One of them
didn't see that coming. Right? Okay, so he ran off with his computer and two others. That's how many jobs you had pending with him. He just took everything and what? Went where? Do you know?
He's still probably in Jamaica, Queens, but...
But you can't find him.
I actually took him to small claims court.
Oh, did you? What happened?
He didn't show up. He forgot the day.
Right.
And I got a $5,000 judgment against him.
Are you trying to execute it now?
I'd like to, if anyone can find him, yeah.
Right, but you found him because you served him. Yeah, that's how you got the judgment.
He apparently...
He has no assets.
He says he is doing a recording deal, and one day will make lots of money or something like that.
Okay, good luck with that. All right, so now...
I told him I'll make it, I said, I'm sorry, it's not my fault, but
how long after you gave the computer to him did he tell you your computer's been stolen?
Approximately 4 to 5 months, Your Honor.
4 to 5 months? What'd you do
Yes.
without a computer all that time? You had another computer?
No, actually, on that computer, I had all my advertising programs. I do outdoor advertising as a living. I told David when I gave him...
Yeah, but didn't you pull out whatever you needed before you gave it to him to repair?
No, it was on the hard drive, Your Honor. It wouldn't power up.
Oh, my goodness. You didn't have like a backup?
No.
You have a backup now, don't you?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, you just have to be spanked one time like that for you to understand. Okay, Go on.
So I gave it to David. I've done business with David for about 4 years now and gave him numerous computers. He does excellent work.
Okay.
And
so now when he tells you that yours is gone, but I'll make good, what does he do?
It didn't actually go that way.
Okay.
I called David, after numerous times. He said, Brendan, I want to be honest with you. He said, there's a guy I gave a computer to, and basically he's got your computer, he took your computer and 2 other machines. So I'm like, get out of here. And I was very upset at that point. So he said he actually lives in Queens. So I said, I live in Queens. So David explained where he lived. I actually went by where the guy lived.
Oh my gosh.
They said he wasn't there, he moved out or whatever have you. And I told this back to David. So David said, you know what? I want to make good on it. So basically, if you come up and see me, I'll give you another computer to replace yours.
Okay.
So I said, okay, fine.
Right.
Myself and my son.
Come on up. Yourself and your son.
Went up and we met David, and he gave me another computer.
And what kind of a computer did he give you?
A MacBook Pro.
Okay, same size?
Now, this is the thing. With a 13-inch and a 15-inch, you really can't tell the difference unless, like, when you...
Unless you measure the inches.
Right.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't...
I don't know, it's not that hard. I mean...
I didn't measure the inches.
So be honest, do you guys all back up the data on your computer?
No.
What do you think?
No, I don't.
No.
Nah,
No.
Absolutely. It does it automatic.
nah.
No. Going inside the courtroom.
According to you, you gave him a 15-inch?
Yes.
And according to you, he gave you a 13-inch?
Yeah, and I have the actual from the emails with my friend who I
let
gave
me
it
see
to.
it.
I have the serial number, and the specs which show that it is a 13-inch.
Let me see it. Don't you have the receipt for your computer, sir?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
You had some picture to show me?
Excuse me?
There was a picture of two computers that you were...
Oh, yeah, my computer and my son's computer. My
Okay.
son has a 13-inch and I have a 15-inch.
Okay, and you happen to take pictures of you and your son's computer
Yes.
before all this happened?
Yes, this
Because
definitely
what?
before.
You don't find that a little odd?
No.
Okay, can I see it? Let me see it. Oh, but you want me to trust the thief? On the serial number? You're asking him what's the serial number for the
Because he
computer
needs
I
the
gave
serial
you?
number to put it in the system.
Wait, you're asking him what the serial number. For all I know, he was trying to rip you off and give
he
you a
asked,
13.
if you see, he asked me for the serial
He
number.
asked you.
For the serial number so he could try to see the specs before he took it. I can show you the hard drive will match up with the date on the computer.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. You have the hard drive for his computer?
I do. Because I didn't trust him, I started to, take.
You didn't trust him?
Yeah, well, he came by the last two times and took
Just stop a second. When you provide him with a 13-inch Mac.
and two other computers.
And what?
And two other
No, that's a
computers.
thief. You provide him with a 13-inch Mac.
Oh, the reason he didn't get this back is because I couldn't find, when he came to pick up I gave him a replacement computer. I didn't know where I'd placed it.
Well, why don't you get your act together? It's kind of ridiculous. So he comes, you give him a 13-inch Mac. You don't realize it's not a 15-inch Mac. You don't know what you had. That looks pretty to you. You go home.
Right.
Then you put it next to your husband's, Then you put it next to your son's, and your son's is bigger than yours, and you don't like that. So now that's these two, right?
Basically, Your Honor.
Why would you have taken? How do I not? This looks like a staged picture. I got to tell you, because why would you take a picture of a 15-inch next to who does that? Who takes a picture of the two computers side by side like that?
Your Honor, when I purchased the computers, I purchased a lot of stuff from Craigslist. And when I purchased it, I sent it to a friend of mine and said, I bought these two computers for a certain price, amount of money. And I wanted to show both of them together. That's why.
And then you sent it to the guy?
Well, it was my cousin, the female.
Right.
Mhm.
For a woman? It's kind of weird. In any event, well, it should be easy enough to find out, because you have, where is that? That's the hard drive. So that has all the programs you're talking about.
Yes, my advertising
Okay. When you
pictures.
go over there and it's now 4 or 5 months later, he hands you a computer, and does he say, oh, by the way, you owe me the repair costs of $400?
Oh, no. He doesn't
No,
mention
he
anything.
doesn't mention $400.
No, he doesn't.
And if you were entitled to $400 and this is not something you're bringing up a year later because times are tough or whatever it is, why do you hand him the computer without saying, oh, by the way, you owe me $400 for the repair because you gave me a broken computer and I'm giving you a fixed one?
Actually, I told him he would owe, when he came to pick it up, I said, I made good on replacing your computer, but you brought a broken computer. the repair is not free. I said, normally I was going to charge you.
Yeah, this is when you don't even have the guy's hard drive. You've lost his hard drive because you can't find it, but you're telling him, by the way, you owe me $400.
I didn't say. I said I understood it took me a time to get it back to you. So
5 months.
So I'll give you an equal amount of time to pay me back for it, and I said I'll even do it.
But what did anybody say about the hard drive?
I said I'll try to find if I'd saved it, and I did. But he never contacted me back.
I don't know if you were so tough talking that day, because I got to tell you.
And I contacted him again.
You had to have felt like garbage when all this was going on. And here's this guy who's been super patient, and now you can't even find the guy's hard drive to give him all his. And what did you say? You didn't say to him, where the hell's my hard drive? Or...
Your Honor, I didn't care about the computer. The hard drive is everything to me.
Right, but on that day when he's handing you the computer, you don't say to him, where's my hard drive?
No, Your Honor.
And then you get home and then you start looking for your programs and they're not in there. What do?
I contact David.
And said what?
But, Your Honor.
And said what?
And I said, this is in my hard drive.
And he said?
And he says, I don't know.
But Your Honor, what were you going to say?
When he didn't know what the problem was with the computer. That's why he sent it to his friend. I don't know if he took out the hard drive or not. You understand, Your Honor?
Well, he says this is your hard drive. I've never seen what a hard drive actually looks like. This is
Your Honor.
cool. Yep.
The hard drive holds all the memory.
No, I know what it does. I've just never seen it because it's always inside. It's mystery.
He determined that it was the logic board that was broken. Okay. So he said he sent it to a friend. Why would he take out the hard drive if he sent it to a friend who could fix it?
Yeah, why did you take out the hard drive?
Because at that point, he had been slow on returning people's stuff, and in the past, he'd actually...
But how's a guy going to fix it without a hard drive?
Because he sends it, I put in another one just in case. Long story is he needs the whole unit.
But your stories are getting worse as they go along.
He needs the whole unit to mail it in. So I gave him the whole unit, but I saved his data just in case for any reason it would get lost. Because
he was already starting to take long to return stuff.
Why
don't you then show some responsibility and not use them anymore?
Well, after that was the last time.
When he stole 3 computers, that was the last straw.
That was.
But he's obviously so untrustworthy, which is kind of like, when you, what is that saying? You sleep with the dogs, you get fleas, because, it should be a disturbing mystery how he's able to do it cheap.
May I add something?
I live for the moment.
When he came to pick it up and I said, you have to pay, he said, oh, I didn't bring any money. He said, but he had 10, 20 bucks on him. And I said, okay. And I actually gave him a slip case for the computer so he could take it home in a little protective casing. And I said,
oh, that was so nice of you while you hid his hard drive. Yeah.
But
first of all, here's your hard drive. Maybe. Mm-hmm. We're not sure, but maybe. So if you could do something with it, it's all yours. Okay? He is not going to pay you $400 for the computer repair, and he is not going to pay you $25 for a late fee. And you are going to pay him $400 for the difference between a 15 and a 13. And if we don't call it that, let's call it this: the incredible inconvenience of being without your hard drive, all of your programs, and everything that you need in order to do your business for a year, when it sounds like he's admitting that he kind of hid it from you as collateral, which kind of sounds unethical. I'm kind of unimpressed with your ethical level of behavior, okay? That's my judgment.
Well, the computer guy, the plaintiff, loses his case, and your reputation took a couple of hits in there, too. What do you have to say out here that can clean that up?
Oh, well, everyone in Harlem knows I do solid computer repair, and it's a shame that after I go through the extra lengths to give him his stuff, a replacement computer, he doesn't want to, pay me at least something for all the work I've done to ensure that he gets his property back.
Did you hold his hard drive hostage?
Not purposely. I really couldn't find it the day he showed up. I tried to get him the machine back when he called.
How come when you found it, you didn't get in touch with him right away and say, I got this for you here, let me give it to you?
I did try to contact him, but his phone number, he's got about 4 of them. I've tried all of them, and he calls back when he wants.
Okay. All right. That's good enough. Right that way. All right. So you buy all that? You heard him.
Yeah.
You got 4 telephone numbers?
No, I don't.
And how many you got?
I have 2.
You got 2. And you satisfied with what you got out of this?
Definitely.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Harvey?
You know, there's a real possibility that even if someone screws up your computer, if you don't back it up, then you did not minimize your damages and you could lose. And by the way, let me just say, I do not back up my computer. My system does.